Hey everybody, welcome back to 3rd Gen Aquatics. It's Garrett. As you can tell, we are behind my 125, which for the most part will be the backdrop for the majority of the videos, at least for time being, until things change. But as of right now, we'll most likely be starting the videos here. But mainly what I wanted to talk about in this video is filtration. As you can tell, this tank is stocked up pretty well. There's a bunch of different sized fish, a lot of feeding and stuff going on in here. But with that being said, the two main types of filtration that I use personally is sponge filters and canister filters. Sponge filters, one, because they're easy, they're cheap, and you can use them over and over and over again. But there's just an abundance of them, and they're not real costly. Like I said, they are pretty cheap. Now the canister filters, on the other hand, not so much. A little more complicated than just having an air pump and some line. So with that being said, what I do run for my canister filters is a Fluval 206, and then I also run an Aqueon over here on this side. Now the size of that one, I'm not sure. I will show in the video later, more specifically. But the way I have everything set up is this tube will run into the Fluval, and then it dumps out, which you can't see as of right now. But on the side here, there's a spout next to a wave maker that'll push all the water and current down one way, and then I have another one doing vice versa. But the way I have it is it's kind of, it's wide off into two hang-on back filters, and in the hang-on back filters I have plants, so that's kind of filtering things out as well. So basically all it'll do is run through the system, out through from the hang-on back filters, obviously down in this tank. But for all my smaller tanks, for the most part, I typically use sponge filters. My 75, I have canister filters, which I'll talk about in another video. 55 gallon is its own type of hodgepodge, I guess. But with the amount of fish in here, realistically, it doesn't hurt to have too much filtration, so I could have more in here, but as of right now, I've been using what I've got and haven't had any issues at all. But a lot of that's checking parameters and doing weekly water changes as well. Weekly water changes are important. I've always done weekly water changes. I don't care what anybody else says. Weekly water changes are the way to go. But yeah, so for this specifically, that's all I'm doing. I do actually have some in there. There is more foam, like sponge material almost inside of there. Clean those out. Everything else, just clean them out every now and then. Everything will stay crystal clear and look good. So, yeah. So for the Fluval, this is where the return is. So obviously it'll push everything down through here. This little Fluval, little guy over there. And then for the bigger one, like I said, Aqueon, but this actually runs up through into these here, and then obviously it filters down through. Not a whole lot of flow, I wish there was more, but either way it works completely fine. So I'm just gonna leave that as the way it is, since everything seems to be looking very well and I don't have any parameter issues, so I'm just gonna leave everything the way it is. What I run specifically for filtration, or what I use specifically for filtration on this tank, As you can see in the middle back there, there is a big sponge filter. It's actually rated for, I believe, like a 60 gallon, something like that. But my main source of filtration for this tank is my Cascade canister filter. That seems to do really well for me. I really haven't had to do a massive clean yet, which I'm probably going to before too long. But this water is always very, very clean and clear, and not really too concerned about it. But I know Oscars are very messy eaters, so it is always good to have more filtration in for these guys. But once they get larger and they get moved into their adult forever tank, hopefully, if you will, filtration is definitely going to be a key focus point. With that being said, once they go into that forever tank, there's going to be a lot of other things that are in that space that will need very well filtrated water. So not to say too much out there, but to give some hints, a poly shark is absolutely beautiful. But so yeah, that's the 75 gallon and the filtration that I have for that. As of right now, like I said, it is working well and I haven't had any issues, so I'm just gonna leave it the way it is and go from there. But anyway, that is a quick explanation on my filtration for this tank and the 75 as well. But in the next video, we're going to be talking about what I feed each individual tank, how much, how often, and so on and so forth. So if you're interested in that, definitely come in and check the next video out. Thank you so much for checking this video out. Have a great day.